Yes, you read that title correctly. And no, I'm not pulling your leg. Let's be honest, From Software is no stranger to producing games that give you a visceral feeling of accomplishment when you master them. However, the razor thin line between whether or not your lack of progress is due to your skill as a player or your build in the game rides a razor thin line. But what if I told you that you have most of the materials you need to make a proper AC that can take you to the end of the game? What if I told you that it only needs a few extra upgrades to be an AC worthy of your pilot? What if I told you that you can make this build as early as Mission 9? Still with me? Well, by the time I'm through with you, if you go through this video, you will have all the tools you need to make this game your bitch. Disclaimer: if you are looking for a build where you can turn off your brain and not engage with the core mechanics that the game is trying to push upon you, then this build is not for you. The only thing this build demands of you is a willingness to learn. If you can do that, then I guarantee you that by the time this video is over, this will be the only build you ever need. So here it is, the only build you will ever need in its entirety. Let's not mince words, let's get straight into it. So, the assault rifle, the 4-count missile launcher, and the laser sword are all weapons you get access to from the moment you turn on the game. It's on your default AC. The only thing that is not stock is this shotgun. This shotgun unlocks the first time the parts store gets more inventory. Around mission 3, I want to say. That or mission 5, one of the two. It's really early in the game, so don't worry about that too much. You will get access to this before you leave Chapter 1, which is the most important thing. Now, in order to get this setup to work properly, we need to be able to put the laser sword in our left shoulder slot, which usually isn't available at the start. And that is the reason why this build only turns completely online when you beat Mission 9, because then we will have access to the arena. The arena gives you simulated fights against other ACs. By defeating exactly one of them, you will have enough OST chips to buy the system unlock for the weapon bay. This will let you put left-handed weapons in your left shoulder slot, and by pressing the associated button, you will swap between weapons. And with that, your entire offensive kit is completely set. I'll show you in detail exactly what each weapon is for a little bit later. But the next thing I'm going to show is the Nox set. This set specializes in one thing and one thing only: lightweight, good gun accuracy, and booster efficiency. And we really want this because as a lightweight build, our advantage is speed. Our low AP and our low defenses are not going to save us, but that is perfectly fine because we want to dodge more attacks than we want to tank anyways. That is easily the funnest way to play this game because getting hit by a rocket point blank to the face is gonna happen. Yes, it's gonna hurt. But as you get better at the game, it becomes less and less of a problem, especially since our biggest enemy is lack of game knowledge, not just random bullshit. Now, the final things we need to talk about are the inner parts. And these 3 specific parts all come from the exact same place: Training Mission 3. If you don't have access to Training Mission 3, then you have not progressed in the story far enough. You will get access to them before you leave Chapter 1, so if you haven't beaten Chapter 1 yet, don't worry, it's coming, it's there. You get access to the Alula boosters. These boosters are on my optimized versions of this build, and they offer us great thrust and quick burst thrust. Now, thrust is directly tied to your boost speed, which is how fast your AC can hover, and this is what we're going to be using to avoid attacks close distance, or get away from shit really, really quickly. Quick Burst thus does the same. The next thing we're going to talk about is the FCS. It comes from the same place, and this early in the game, it gives us great close range assist and medium range assist for how early in the game you can get. Missile lock correction is pretty good, but if you're unfamiliar with how this mechanic works, it does not affect your tracking. It only affects how fast it takes for your missiles to lock on, aka for that little yellow bar to appear on an enemy for you to hit them with it. So, does not approve tracking. The last thing we'll talk about is the generator. This generator is light enough for all our toys and gives us just enough EN load to use all of them with no issues whatsoever. Alright, so now we'll go over a short exhibition of how you're going to be playing this AC. As you can see, we are quite the swifty boy. And you're going to want to stay on the ground more often than not. You can go in the air, but it is important to know that you move faster on the ground than you do in the air. If you're in the air, you don't want to be there forever. In our quick boost, our energy comes back so very quickly, even after we exhaust it. It's just that good. Okay, so now it's time for weapons. Think of your right-handed weapons, both the rockets and your assault rifle, as your mobbing weapons. These are what you're going to be using to deal with the majority of the small enemies throughout all the levels you're going to be taking on. They can be used for bossing, and I'll show that in a little second, but the main boss killers we have are the shotgun and the laser sword. This is what happens when you press L1. And the reason we wanted a shotgun in our left hand is because the only downside that a build like this has is stagger potential. Just like Sekiro and Elden Ring, there are stagger meters that you're going to have to fill in order to break enemy guards for massive damage. So we'll bring out a trainer AC, turn off his AI. As you can see, our little dinky assault rifle does a little bit of stagger damage, but not a whole lot. Our missiles do quite a bit more, but that's on a cooldown, and it's not very good. Shotgun, however, does quite a bit. And this is where the build really starts to come into its own. So whenever you are facing an enemy boss, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be holding right trigger, just letting your assault rifle do its thing, pepper in some missiles whenever you feel like it, and whenever you get a clear shot, you're going to shoot them with the shotgun. You're then going to switch to your melee weapon, close distance, and then hit them twice. And that's basically the rotation. Just keep doing that until they're staggered. And while they are staggered, you can hit them for the sword for massive damage. And even early game, this is still a massive amount of damage. This is without any OS chip upgrades, because this only gets better as you invest more into it. And that's basically the build. So for all of you who came through here, this is all you need to know. Because from this point on, I'm going to be going into some later missions down the line to show you some boss kills with this build exactly. So if you're interested in those, stick around. But otherwise, if you're interested in avoiding spoilers, go to this timestamp right here to go check out the optimized version of the builds where I talk upgrades and other such jazz. Bear in mind that you will be seeing some parts that are only available in New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus. But other than that, let's go pwn some news, shall we? Alright, first on our bully list is Baltheus. Allow me to show you what this build is capable of. Now, I'm really upset at the fact that I actually do not have a screen to show you the build mid-mission. There ain't a whole lot I can do about that, but regardless, I will show you just what this build is capable of. Staggered, smack him with our sword. Rinse and repeat until dead. Excuse me. Ooh, frames. Excuse me, don't mind me. You can see that being a very zippy boy makes it very difficult for him to hit us. Excuse me. And staggered again. Missed him with the first hit, but that's sadly not a whole lot I can do about that. The tracking in this game is absolutely fucking dog shit. Excuse me, sir.
Right shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Oh, goodness. Come here. Ain't nobody got time for your missiles. Should take one more stagger, or I might actually kill him with bullets before I even get the chance. Oh, goodness. If there's one thing this build isn't good at taking, it's point-blank missiles. Oh, goodness. He has a shield. Excuse me. Oh, God. Yeah, there we go. Whoops. Just that easy. Come on.
Enemy systems down. It's silent.
Okay, now we can skip. S rank, let's go. And just to prove a point, I am going to show the build again after every time I do this, just to show that it is the exact same one that I showed off. As well as the OS tuning. It's the only thing I have. You get a total of 197. I still have 195. Only spent the 2. Alright, next up on our list is the enforcement system. Oh, did not realize I had my sword out. Come here. Get out of here. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, God. Fucking pile driver. I am not a fan. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Lost track. Not a fan. Just heal up real quick. I'm not out to prove anything to anybody. This fight is already hard enough, even when you have leveled gear and a proper OS system. Come here. Hold still. Come here. I can get.
One repair kit remaining.
Oh, that is easily the scariest thing. Oh, no.
50% and 30%.
Okay. Oh, God. I honestly thought he was going to one-shot me there for a little bit. Come here.
Left-hand ammunition at 30%. Right shoulder ammunition at 30%.
Come here. Get out of here. First try, baby. Whew.
Confirmed. Only unit is silent.
922. Let's go. I'd kick you, but I don't have access to it.
Let's take a break from
Damn it. Let me out. Let me out. Yo, S rank. Let's go. That mission is so very lenient when it comes to health packs. Once again, nothing has changed at all. Same thing. Weapon bay, 197 total, 195 still in my stock. Alrighty, boys and girls, let's take on the Ibis series. Easily my favorite boss out of the whole game. This is such a fun fight. It's so fast-paced and is exactly why I love this build. Because this is awesome. I missed. Oh goodness. Come here. Pew, 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 pew. Oh god. Thank you.
2 repair kits remaining.
Meow.
Keep it up, 621. Can't take much more of this.
AP at 50%.
Phase 1 down. Let's go.
all of us
Get out of here.
silent.
Wait, it's coming back.
Might as well just use this. I really wish it would give me some stagger damage at the very least. Give me some proactive benefit for attacking it. But no, it just doesn't feel like it. Because Ibis Series S gets so many tools and Hadrabahoos to just avoid damage. Excuse me. Come here. Get back on the ground where you belong.
Picking up a powerful ambient resonance.
There we go. That's how you dodge that. Be on the ground, dodge to the side. Let's go. Come here.
You've nearly got it, 621. You're the only
I didn't even stagger in him, I still got it. Let's go! Oh god. Up, up, up. Yeah. I will not have any of your shenaniganery this day.
At 30%.
Be gone with thee.
You can take it, 621.
Get out of here.
Enemy generator compromised.
Get out of there, 621.
Alrighty. Let me out. Let me out. There we go. Hey, another S rank. Let's go. I'm going super swift. And once again, for the final time, nothing about my build has changed. OS tuning, right where it should be. Welcome back. So, you've seen what the build can do in its base form. Now let me show you some more optimized ACs. And it's important to understand that a lot of this, the concept that runs these builds remains the same. I still have an assault rifle in my right hand, I still have a shotgun in my left hand, my laser sword is unchanged, and my rocket launcher is still on my right shoulder. Nothing about that has changed. Most of these items you can get about midway through the game. The rest of this stuff is just either items you can get in chests or through new game cycles, more specifically for the framing parts. This is the total stats. This is the quick version of the build I have. It maintains the idea that it wants to go as fast as possible with decent defenses, decent attitude stability to keep us from getting staggered, etc. It still uses the Alula boosters, and we have changed out the FCS for the Talbot, which has the best close range and medium range assists, which is perfect. And I'm using the A1CO1G Aorta Redshift Coral generator. I think Redshift is only for the weapons, but no, this is a personal preference when it comes to generator. You can definitely use like any of the actual generators that make your engine turn blue, but this is just a personal preference. And as for the other version of this build, you might have seen this build when I did my how to beat the ice worm video without the needle rifle. And it's the exact same build. The only thing that has changed about it is the aesthetics of the center pieces. This one trades about 10 to 11, or actually technically 13 points of speed for more defenses. That's about it. It is just as good. It follows the exact same principles. And the reason I have made both builds like this instead of trying to maximize on speed like the base version is because you can actually swap out the rocket launcher for the needle launcher if you feel so inclined, if you want to either S-rank the mission or if you just don't feel like doing it the way I did. I did it for masochism reasons, but yeah, that's it. I could talk about the expansions, but that is personal preference. I prefer assault armor for extra offensive options, but terminal armor works fine, pulse armor works fine. Oh, I guess the last thing I could talk about in terms of upgrades is what to prioritize for your system unlocks. The first thing you should get after getting your weapon bay is the boost kick. Kicking people is fun. That's all I've got to say about that. However, if we're talking actual damage, you should focus on kinetic weapons fire control tuning, because a majority of your damage output is going to come through your main weapons, your assault rifle, your shotgun, and these are the things you're going to be using the most. The next thing you're going to focus on is melee weapons, because that is our boss killer, and having more melee damage is always good. After that, it's direct hit modifier. This is just more damage, because once you stagger them, this will turn your sword into pimp slaps of hell, and it's absolutely fantastic. And if you are so inclined, you can pump the last of your points into explosive weapons when you've got all that maxed. And after that, damage mitigation. Go in that order, you should be perfectly fine. You can, of course, change up anything about the build as you see fit, what order you go through things, how you get certain things, but there isn't a whole lot else, because literally, this is just the best build you could ever have, extended edition. That's it. That is literally all this is. Shut up, Thunder. Now is not the time to be raining. But yeah, there it is, the only build you will ever need. If you're interested in downloading the share codes for either of these two builds, Project Nightfall or Project Daybreak, the optimized versions, I'll leave them in the description. I'm pretty sure you can scrape together the bare minimum on your own. But I'd like to thank you all so much for watching my stupid little video, and I hope you have a better time going through Armored Core 6. I'll see you later.